What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 3 Millionaire Maker. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. Okay guys, this is for the Millionaire Maker slate, which is the Sunday main slate at 1 p.m. Oh, and stick around to the very end of this video. After I show you all my picks in the Draft Dashboard tools, I'll show you these players in DraftKings and in FanDuel, the Millionaire Maker slates. There'll be 2 spots open that you have to fill in, but you'll have a great Millionaire Maker core. Okay guys, NFL Week 3, let's take a look at the quarterback position. My Millionaire Maker quarterback for Week 3 is Ryan Tannehill from the Tennessee Titans playing the Minnesota Vikings, who have the second worst defense overall, and they give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill has averaged 23.1 fantasy points per game on the season. He's getting an average of 3.5 rush attempts per game. He's going to be about 6% owned, projected at 18.5 fantasy points here in Week 3, but he scored 27 and 19 fantasy points in the last 2 games. So 27 fantasy points last week. This guy's got some upside. He's $5,900 DraftKings salary and $1,500 more on FanDuel. So you're saving some salary with this quarterback pick. That's why I think he makes a good Millionaire Maker play here. Vegas thinks there's going to be 47.5 points scored in this game, so a pretty high scoring game. And they have the Tennessee Titans favored by 2.5, so a competitive game. So I like Ryan Tannehill here versus the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. My Week 3 Millionaire Maker running back is Jonathan Taylor from the Indianapolis Colts playing the New York Jets, who have the 9th worst defense overall, and they give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Jonathan Taylor has averaged 18.5 fantasy points per game on the season, off an average of 17.5 rush attempts per game and 4 pass targets per game. Now he is going to be about 14% owned, but for good reason here. He scored 22 fantasy points off of 26 rush attempts and 2 pass targets last game. He's projected at 16.4 fantasy points here in Week 3, but I think he puts up another 20 plus fantasy points here. He is $7,000 DraftKings salary and $300 less on FanDuel. So I like that FanDuel price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 43.5 points scored in this game, and the reason that I like this pick is because Vegas thinks that the Indianapolis Colts, or Vegas has the Colts favored by 10.5 here. So this is definitely a running game script here versus a vulnerable New York Jets defense. Jonathan Taylor is going to get a ton of rush attempts this game, so I like Jonathan Taylor here versus the New York Jets. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL, MLB is still going, NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. So I'm going to give you a value play here, and this is a nice play here because you're stacking this guy with your quarterback. So I like Adam Humphries from the Tennessee Titans playing the Minnesota Vikings, who have the second worst defense overall, and they're giving up the second most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. And Adam Humphries is averaging 13.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 6.5 pass targets per game, and he's only going to be about 3% owned here. He scored 16 fantasy points last game off of 6 pass targets. He's projected at 8.6 fantasy points here tonight, but I think this guy can get 15 plus fantasy points in this matchup. He's only $3,900 DraftKings salary and $700 more on FanDuel. So we know Vegas thinks there's going to be 47.5 points scored in this game, with the Tennessee Titans favored by 2.5. Fantastic matchup here. I think this guy's still way too cheap for those 6 or 7 targets that he's going to be getting every game. So I like Adam Humphries here versus the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, let's take a look at the tight end position. Now, you could also stack Jonnu Smith here from the Tennessee Titans playing the Minnesota Vikings. You could stack Jonnu Smith and Adam Humphries with Ryan Tannehill. Jonnu Smith scored 24 fantasy points last game off of 5 pass targets, and he's only going to be about 1% owned. But I'm not going to play Jonnu Smith here in this Millionaire Maker lineup. I'm going to save some salary at the tight end position, and I'm going to play Logan Thomas from the Washington football team playing the Cleveland Browns, who have the 3rd worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. Logan Thomas has averaged 10.2 fantasy points per game on the season, off an average of 8.5 pass targets per game. He's going to be about 6% owned, and he's on the field for 82% of the snaps, touches the ball 15% of that time, projected at 8.7 fantasy points here tonight. 8.7 fantasy points in week 3. He scored 7 and 14 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 9 and 8 pass targets. So I love that volume, and he's only $3,700 DraftKings salary and $1,200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 44 points scored in this game, with the Washington football team trailing by 7. So it should be a passing game script. Fantastic matchup here. Tons of volume. Super low salary. So I like Logan Thomas here versus the Cleveland Browns. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video, or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. You've unlocked the bonus content. Okay guys, here we are in the DraftKings lineup optimizer over on Draft Dashboard. We have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here. We've generated a lineup, so let's see who we got here. We have Ryan Tannehill at the quarterback position. We have Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor as our running backs. And then we have Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, and Adam Humphries as our wide receivers. We have Logan Thomas as our tight end, and we have Austin Eckler in the flex position. Let's see who else we can put in at the flex if we don't like Austin Eckler. We could go with Mike Evans, we could go with James Conner, Chris Godwin, Juju Smith-Schuster. What about Chris Carson here? I like Chris Carson here from the Seattle Seahawks playing the Dallas Cowboys. That should be a high-scoring game with a lot of fantasy points in it, so I like that there. We're leaving $200 on the table. I think that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and save this lineup. So we got Ryan Tannehill, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Adam Humphries, Logan Thomas, Chris Carson, and the Eagles defense. So pretty nice Millionaire Maker lineup here. We have a couple of low ownership plays with Adam Humphries and Keenan Allen only 6%, Chris Carson only 5%, Logan Thomas only 6%, mixed in with a few stud plays here like Amari Cooper, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. So pretty nice Millionaire Maker lineup. I got it saved here just in case we need to optimize it later. Okay, now here we are in the FanDuel lineup optimizer over on Draft Dashboard, and we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here. So we got Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook as our running backs, and then Tyler Lockett, Adam Humphries, and DeAndre Hopkins as our wide receivers, Logan Thomas as our tight end, and we got Austin Ekeler in the flex, and I'm going to keep Austin Ekeler here in the flex position here. And then we have the Chargers defense versus that Carolina offense that is now without Christian McCaffrey. So I like that. And yeah, Austin Ekeler could get a lot of work versus the Carolina Panthers, especially if the Chargers get up big. They run the clock out with Ekeler. The defense makes some plays. So we have, yeah, again, we got a nice mix here of some low ownership plays with some high ownership plays. Ryan Tannehill only 3% owned on FanDuel. Adam Humphries only 1% owned on FanDuel. I love this Adam Humphries plays. I love this Adam Humphries play. Hope it doesn't burn me, but he's low salary, so he doesn't need too much to hit value. And then I love this Logan Thomas play. 8 and 9 pass targets per game in the first 2 weeks. That's a ton of volume, and he's got a fantastic matchup. So this is a pretty nice Millionaire Maker lineup here. We have Ryan Tannehill, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Tyler Lockett, Adam Humphries, DeAndre Hopkins, Logan Thomas, Austin Ekeler, and the Chargers defense. So we're going to save this lineup so we can optimize it later if something changes, if injuries come up, or, you know, NFL is an ever-changing DFS sport. You always have to check the injury news right before lock. There could be some value that opens up. You want to put that value in and upgrade one of your other players. So I think we got a nice couple of Millionaire Maker lineups here. Good luck in week 3, everyone, and thanks so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite
Player for this NFL slate.
I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.